charge, and the video referee is Russell's. As I said, a perfect day. I hope you're having a lovely Easter weekend as it is kicked off there by Luke Capewell, the fullback for the Titans. It goes down for Tim Manor to bring it back off Jeff Robson for the opening tackle of the game, with the blue and golds going immediately to Fui Moi, and he's taken down on the 20-metre line. Minicello was one tackler and Bird was another. Hindmarsh takes it up, and Parramatta safely taking it out to the 30-metre line through their third tackle on the first set, and Tim Manor it is with his second carry on the initial set to the 40-metre line. And kicking out from dummy half is Casey Maguire, the number 9, and it bounces down there favourably for Capewell, but he loses his footing and is put away there just outside his own 20-metre line. And so it is Michaels now, Steve Michaels, playing on that left side wing for the Titans. They too, as I said in relation to the Eels, are well down by comparison with where they were at this time last year. Minicello inside his own 40-metre line. Bailey, his first carry in his 200th first-grade game. Playing the ball back for Nathan Friend, and now it's gone to Scott Prince, and he punches it and stabs it down, but Luke Burt was there and waiting, and Burt comes back out towards the 30-metre line, and they put him away. Burt sure to be enough in field not to be carried over that sideline on the western side. That is Loco, who's taken down on the 30-metre line. Again, the tackler there was Bird together with Prince, and now Jordan Atkins, who was in fact with the Titans for some time. He'll play the ball inside his own 40-metre line. Maguire for Robson for Moi, and he's lost the ball, and it's been cleaned up. The referee is ordering that a knock-on occurred.
The tackle was complete.
Tackle was completed, and then the ball lost. And that sometimes is lost on a lot of people to follow the game. Once the tackle has been completed, that is when the ball or the arm touches the ground and you've got a player on top of you, then the ball comes out. It's considered to be a scrum restart.
Pretty decent tackle there from William Zillman.
Well, he's playing in 6 today, Pete. He's been there for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's done what's good. A double last week, and we know him more as a winger fullback, as Mark Minicello from the scrum wing goes down the shorter side, but excellent pick up and drive on Moi.
So Robson getting through quite a bit of defence very early on, and that's not good for business, really, when you're carrying that number 7 on your back. But here's Bailey, and Bailey will play the ball 25 metres out, down the middle of the ground they come. Prince goes towards the line, passes almost at the line, back to Harrison, and Ashley will play the ball 15 metres away from the Parramatta line as they take it towards that southern end, and that looks like Luke, in fact it's Michael Henderson. Henderson will play the ball right in front of the sticks, 10 metres out, and here it comes from Friend away to Harrison. Parramatta's online defence very much tested early on. This is the last tackle now. Prince puts a kick over towards the winger, Wasili. It goes to ground. It might have come off the hand of a Titan, went backwards. It's play on. Minicello puts another kick on it. Burt comes up out of the back, and he takes it safely to ground. That all looked a little bit disjointed. Lasalo is with it now.
Well, it's one of the great aspects of the Scott Prince game, the kicking game, especially the attacking one inside the opposition 20. Mark Minicello slowly back into the defensive line. He a bit slow up after the confrontation down there as Waiseli takes it just shy of halfway.
Bailey at the front of proceedings in that defence, and now Moi with a good run. That always brings the crowd to their feet here at Parramatta Stadium as Maguire goes to Robson, and Robson goes high and across towards Capewell, and Capewell, he had the pressure from Mortimer applied, but Luke came out of it okay. He plays it for Prince, and the ball goes away to David Mead, and Mead will play the ball 20 metres out.
He might be looking for a change of boots at half-time, Luke Capewell. 2 runs and he slipped over on both occasions.
Now this is Henderson playing in jumper number 14. And now for Greg Bird, and Bird is able to pop a ball down. It was only on the line. With that, this is Thompson, Bodine Thompson to the Parramatta 40-metre line. That was due to the pass from Greg Bird. It was good. And now Friend's pass bounces along out to Bailey, very sloppy. And Bailey will play the ball, taken down by Maguire, with some help from Lasalo. The kick again from Prince, stabbing it into the corner. And it's allowed to go over the line there by Luke Burt. Only just, by the way.
That was cumbersome there from the Titans. Bodine Thompson made a good inroad down the right-hand touchline. They had Parramatta stretched. And then the first two passes were really poor. A slow pass from David Mead out of dummy half, and then Nathan Friend found the ground with his attempt. And it really halted the play. What's this? A slow, loopy pass, and now a pass to no one. All the momentum gone. Just because the quality's not there.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the last time we see Greg Bird go at Daniel Mortimer. I think he'll believe that he can commit him in defence and get an offload away, as he was able to do there with Thompson into a gap. Strong defence, pushing Parramatta back inside their own 10. That's Maselli.
Down for Horror. And he's upended effectively by Zillman. And it plays it just inside Parramatta's 20-metre line. Again, it's Casey Maguire. And played back this time for Daniel Mortimer to use Tim Manor, and the collision quite severe there with Bird, and underneath was Henderson. Maguire with a step, and then for Moy, who's been good, but he's lost the ball right on the halfway line.
I think he's got Casey Maguire for a forward pass.
Forward pass, is it, from Maguire to Moy?
He's back here, guys.
Which is very sloppy, because that was an inroad. It was a good quick play, the ball from Tim Manor. I think that's been ruled forward.
Outside leg up, Michael.
The old no-look pass. It's become very much an overdone aspect of the game. And this is Minicello with the ball now. Not the first time I've seen Casey Maguire with no lookers throwing balls fractionally forward to big men on the move that want the ball. They want it legally.
It's just a fad we're going through, Ray.
Exactly right, but here's Prince now, and away it goes to the lock forward, Harrison. 20 metres away from the Parramatta line. And so Nathan Friend, who will leave the Titans at the end of the year. And now it goes from Prince, and it's a long ball away to Tonga, and Tonga turns the ball inside for Michaels. It's a try. Good ball, Tonga. And Michaels responds to score, and Ashley Klein points to the spot. 4-0 the Titans.
And it did not look that difficult. Going to the left-hand side, they had numbers there. Joel Reddy appeared to slide fairly comfortably late. There he goes now. And there's three attackers up against three defenders. And just a bit of footwork there from Steve Michaels takes him in front of Jeff Robson. I think they had the numbers to cope with that, but they just didn't handle it particularly well at all.
Well, you put that down to defensive error, don't you? They had covered them up with enough bodies, but then at the last instance, after promising everything, they delivered nothing. And I think no one was more surprised than the winger Michaels, who ends up scoring the first try of the afternoon. Better service, though, from dummy half. Completely different to the earlier one we just highlighted, where a couple of cumbersome passes jolted their action. That time, the delivery was really good. Nathan Friend, good ball to Prince. Prince, long ball to Tonga, and all of a sudden they're on their way.
It's only the second try that the Gold Coast have scored inside the first 20 minutes this year. So they've been, in all of their matches, quite slow to get going. In fact, their season has been slow to get going. Prince then from in front of the Eastern Grandstand on the 20-metre line. It's a lovely looking kick. Beautiful kick from Scott Prince. So it's 6-0, the Titans over Parramatta after 9 minutes.
Stay behind here.
Welcome to our networks taking us this afternoon on this Easter Sunday. As Burt sends it down, and it's marked by Capewell, and Capewell dances up to the opposition. But the Parramatta forwards combine to put him down. And Friend sweeps it away for Bailey, and Bailey will go to ground and play it just outside that 20-metre line of his.
He's been a warrior, Bailey, hasn't he, over the years? Love him as a footballer. A real warrior.
Am I wrong in thinking that he and Scott Prince are still co-captains of this club, or were they once? Hindmarsh appears to be the man that's been penalised there for hanging in there too long.
Yeah, we're listed in the program with just the one skip, and that's the man kicking the football now. But Bailey's outstanding to the degree that you could put him in a sky blue jersey now and he would not look out of place by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm sure they were once co-captains, and they're not now, I'm told, by David Middleton. And here is Moi. See, he got that ball very flat and just a tad late for him. He's the one that's going to take the battering, so you've got to give him every possible advantage. He's not getting the ball as clean as he wants it and when he wants it. Played by Manor. Maguire comes away. Goes second to Mortimer. Oh, he almost put his hands in the air and said, "Arrest me, constable." As Horrow went through with an obstruction, Mortimer plays the ball.
Somehow 6 more tackles signalled there for Parramatta. So that's the first now.
So Hindmarsh will play the ball. Parramatta down 6-0. Early days as the ball goes ahead with Lasalo. Parramatta next weekend play the Dragons, so the road ahead doesn't get any easier. Maguire short for Moi. And he's taken by Bailey effectively and low. Maguire goes on to Mortimer, who goes deep for Burt, who goes away for Loco. And he's taken by David Mead. So Burt is up a dummy half. Mortimer at first, Robson second, and Hindmarsh wide. And he attracts the attention of 3. 5 tackles gone for the Eels then as they attack the Gold Coast line, and it's beautifully picked up by Capewell.
Splendid.
Wasn't a kick that was going to challenge too hard, though.
No, it's a splendid pick-up. He's still got to scoop it up, hasn't he, Rabbits? I mean, you're on your own try line. You know one little error could lead to. Look at that half volley, confident, ran it back into the field of play. Good stuff.
Play by Steve Michaels, and now with Michael Henderson. I well remember their first game ever, the Gold Coast in 07. It was a forgetful day for Michael Henderson with a break of the ankle, I think it was, and here is a knock-on against Bodine Thompson. It might have got some help from Parramatta, but it's his job to be secure with the football.
The last 2 offloads from Greg Bird have provided some trouble. One that just went to ground, and that one went to ground via Bodine Thompson. Still a little bit pedestrian in attack there, the Parramatta side. It looks orchestrated and thus predictable. Rather, they just operate on the back of a quick play the ball and played what was in front of them.
So here's Joel Reddy back playing at the top level now. He started off with the feeder club as Coach Kearney gave him time to run himself into match condition. This is Lasalo. Inside the 30-metre line, Bailey's doing a lot of work, celebrating his big 200. Here's Mortimer, taken by Henderson originally, and he's got away. Mortimer refused to die. He got away, and Manor is able to stand. Can't unload as he spun around in the tackle. Picked up by Maguire. Then Moi. Will they stop him? Did he get it down? I don't know.
Well, we'll go upstairs, no doubt.
On tackle 4.
That's what I'm talking about from a quick play the ball.
The ball is stripped out, and then if Horrow grounds it after that.
It was an excellent play the ball, and Casey Maguire realised that, so he took off, took Moi with him. Now Moi gets over the line and deliberately tries to put the football down behind him. There, he's put it down on the foot, can you believe it, of the Gold Coast defender in Luke Bailey.
Well, they want to ask whether or not he's lost the ball backwards here, Peter, and Horrow gets a grounding on it. Let's have a look. He goes down and puts it on his foot. Now, will you call this a knock-on or a knock-back as the ball comes loose and Horrow gets his hand on it? For me, he's lost possession. But the referee did ask whether or not this is a knock-back. He doesn't score fooey, puts it down on Bailey's boot. Now, the next one, does Horrow get it down? And you'd have to say, I don't know.
The answer's a pineapple.
I think he missed it. Did he miss it, Rabbits?
I think he did, but
20.
it was a good piece of camera work, and the boys in tapes working brilliantly there for us.
It's going to be a 20-metre restart.
So it's a knock-on in the in-goal area from Parramatta, so a 20-metre restart.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. So he's ruled that Moi lost the ball. That's why they're coming out to the 20. It's a breach by the attacking team.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision. Looked a bit messy, didn't it?
So 25 metres out from the Gold Coast line on their first tackle, and Bailey running at Manor and Moi Moi. Maguire simply jumping on the top of the pack.
It was more productive play from Parramatta, though, wasn't it?
That's gone forward from the dummy half to Henderson. So Parramatta will come up in a very good attacking position.
This is my new pet hate.
Back here, back here, back here.
Why do teams throw forward passes out of dummy half all the time? And I reckon only 20% get pulled up by the referees. How do they do that all the time? Every team does it. Throws forward passes out of dummy half. Drives you insane. I haven't got far to go, but it drives you insane.
Well, you said that. There's no need to knock yourself. Here's Mortimer for Loco, and Loco in a personal wrestle there with Bodine Thompson.
I knew you were ready to chime in.
No, well, I've been harping on it since the game started about the big men that are going to get battered. They want the ball at exactly the right time, smack bang on the target. And it's up to the dummy half to do it. Or, mind you, they mightn't be timing their run all that brilliantly. Hindmarsh has taken one from Minicello, so it's another penalty for Parramatta.
Bounced up, but you still made contact.
So what will they do here? Take the 2 or go for the goal?
Kick it out.
I understand you're going to kick it out, but I was reading that story from Ricky Stewart talking to Ron Massey today, and of course Massey and Gibson, they used to swear blind on taking the 2. Take the 2. Take the 2, we'll go back and start again.
That was back in the 80s.
I understand that. They weren't bad at their craft, though.
Oh, brilliant.
Here's Manor. We'll play the ball back now for Maguire, and here comes Moi Moi again. My goodness, this Titans online defence has been tested, and now it's a penalty again to Parramatta.
Back away. You're both trying to release him and let him go. Back on in the face.
So Klein is saying that it was the marker interfering with the man trying to play the ball. Bailey is saying, well, what are you supposed to do? He put a hand in his face and pushed him away. He's not supposed to do that either. Now the ball goes out to Burt, beautifully tackled over there. And that was Tonga. Here's Maguire getting it away. Mortimer to Moi Moi. Moi Moi back to Horro. And Horro, 8 metres out from the line. Rookie of the year in the club last year. Here's Maguire off his right foot. 2 metres out from the line. Again, the online defence to be tested. Horro went to sleep a dummy half. Robson got a kick away. It's not been grounded yet by the Titans. Now it has. This will be a line dropout.
Yeah, much better kick there from Jeff Robson, away from the fullback, more of an angle. But when the opposition rush up defensively like the centre does here, and Jeff Robson steps back, that's when you go that same way, because the centre, well, he's still on the ground. So if you go the right side, then you're going to have a disjointed defence to attack. And they had good numbers there, Parramatta, but came back to the left. Restart underway, and here's Moi Moi.
It was an ordinary dropout. It had much too much elevation, and Moi Moi will play it on the first. 27 metres out from the line. Luke Bird had to run urgently up to take that ball. So short was it. Manor to play it now. 20 metres out, middle of the ground. Maguire got a decoy from Hindmarsh. Robson, Bird away for Reddy, and Reddy is taken. And again, it's try-saving stuff. Minicello it is. Brilliant play by the Titan. It's come away now, and it's gone with Hindmarsh to the middle of the ground. Pulled out and tackled by Bailey underneath there, looks like Bird. Played for Maguire. Surely they must crack. Mortimer got it on. Here's a try, is it? Yes, Loco. Jacob Loco has scored for Parramatta. Finally.
He's a good young prospect, Jacob Loco. That's his first try in just his third first-grade game. He went very close on the far side. Then nicely constructed play here where Justin Horro runs in, puts the defenders back on their heels, Bodine Thompson and his winger. And Loco good enough to slide in between. Good decoy line run from Horro, and they got the defence to stop. When you can do that, you're halfway towards beating them.
He's the prototype, this kid, isn't he? Oh, look at the physique on him. Justin Horro did a really good job because he backed up and got wide to make his decoy run count. If you look at the high shot, he really comes back towards the sideline so that he gets a good angle back in field to create the spot. Look how wide he gets, Horro. Now, he backed all the way back there to run that outside in line to keep the centre interested, and that gives Loco the space he needs. Jacob Loco.
18 years of age. He's only a baby, and he debuted in that unfortunate match against Melbourne when they got beaten 38-0 only 2 weeks ago.
There's been a rap on him for a while in the lower grades, and I think you'll see Horro used. He'll get the football at some stage this afternoon as Luke Burt just fades it to the left.
So no goal for Burt. 6-4 the score. Titans over Parramatta.
Eels 4. Congratulations to the Eels fans in Play 27. Well,
even though they've been scored on, a feature of that was that period of time they defended. Sunday football on Easter Sunday. The Titans leading Parramatta 6-4. You're watching Nine Wide World of Sports, and here's Moi Moi, who's been monumental in the opening exchanges. And it's a penalty for having a second go at the man that has already been tackled, according to Ashley Klein. And he's talking about Greg Bird.
Well, you love that after scoring points, getting a penalty straight from the restart to get out of your own end easily and back on the attack. So momentum now Parramatta's way as Tim Manor takes the ball, picks up some tough metres close to halfway.
Moi Moi then on a catch and pass mission to Hindmarsh. He'll play the ball right on halfway. Moi Moi again. What's going on with Fui? He's involved in everything. He might have even marked the ground in readiness for today, the way he's playing. Hindmarsh is wrestled down by Bailey and Harrison. 40 metres out from the Titans line. They lead by 2. Tim Manor knocks on. So what was a good opportunity has gone out the door. Let's take a comment from the sideline from Andrew Johns. Yes, Joey?
Scott Prince in that try. That's created the room on the outside for Jacob Loco. Mortimer got the ball and went straight at Scott Prince, committed him, and the pass was perfect. He's got to do more of that today with no Jared Hayne out there.
So the ball won by the Titans, and Minicello is tackled. Friday night football on this coming Friday night. It's a simultaneous telecast of the Broncos and Bulldogs up and down the eastern seaboard. At 8:30 you'll see that on Friday. That's following the royal wedding. And then Rabbitohs and Sharks will follow. As Zillman tries to punch through the line, he's on the Parramatta 30-metre line. From Harrison, it's gone away now on the field now for the Titans, Matthew White. And he plays at 25 out, Friend, then to Prince, and he goes high with a tester for Burt. And coming in to take the ball, Wasili. And it's back to the 20-metre line for the restart. And he's coming back quickly too. Referee says,
he's got to go to the centre.
Wait. He's called him back to the middle.
No, there's a marking of the centre now. There's no excuse not to come back to the middle of the 20.
So play by Wasili. Hindmarsh ruggedly takes it up towards the 40-metre line.
Moi Moi off, all good on. So
that doesn't surprise anybody. Here's Horro breaking through. He's into the backfield. Support is there. Mortimer taken down by Scott Prince. Brilliant tackle by Prince. Parramatta with a chance though. They're on the rack here at the moment, the Titans. Parramatta looking at the line, but they can't get it down. Penalty to Parramatta now.
No,
he's played an advantage.
Right. Wait, Casey. Right.
McVie. Now for Mortimer. Here is Robson through to Lasalo. He loses the ball. Brilliant bust made by Mark Horro, or beg your pardon, not Mark Horro, but made by Justin Horro, and then Mortimer pulled down on the back of this brilliantly by Scott Prince.
Yeah, but it's a missed opportunity. Jordan Atkins, I think, goes into marker. If they come to the left, there's a 3 or 4 man overlap. Loco's calling for it. There was nobody out here for the Titans.
Hang on. Matt, face up square.
They got the penalty out of it, and then coming over the top was Ashley Harrison, forcing the mistake from Lasalo.
Moi back to the benches. And that is Tonga. And a long ball finding Greg Bird. So they're just inside their 30-metre line now. As the ball comes away again with Ashley Harrison this time, taken by Allgood is out there. Zillman, beautiful step. Zillman, he's got the fullback in front of him. He decides to try and shoulder his way through. He's tackled eventually by Allgood. Now it's gone away. Capewell for Prince. Prince down to Bailey. Bailey taken again by Allgood. 12 metres out from the line. Friend gets a short ball for Prince. Off the boot. It's on the ground waiting to be forced and eventually sent dead by Allgood.
No, come off his boot.
I don't understand why Zillman didn't pass to Bodine Thompson. He had him set up there, fullback to beat, man in support, jinks his way through the line, man outside him, and doesn't really ever look at him. Never, ever really positions Bodine Thompson. Sort of half gives him the shove, and it would have been an interesting foot race between Thompson and Jacob Loco, who was looming up behind. The last play was a good little kick from Scotty Prince and Parramatta. Well, they saved the day. They knock it dead.
Well, he's still down on the 10-metre line, Scott Prince, after kicking that football. I think Shackleton came into contact with him. He's up now and ready to go again.
The trainer, Ronnie Palmer, will be saying, give us your jersey. If you're no good, I'll play. You soon get up then. Can't have Ronnie on the side.
Look at this drop kick from Burt. It's a beauty. It's gone more than 50 metres, and Capewell gives it to Matthew White. And White is met by three of the Parramatta defenders, led by their captain, Hindmarsh. Friend goes short away for Bailey, and Bailey runs it at Lasalo. Titans then leading 6-4. And Friend comes to the open side, links up with his captain. The ball was knocked down by, I think, a Parramatta player on his arm, and Mortimer plays it now.
Yeah, it was a weird one. That he was shaping to pass Scott Prince and it just dribbled out as Shackleton tackled centre field.
I think the Parramatta player might have struck at his arm, which is quite lawful. Now it's gone back off Robson. Now it's gone to ground, and he's going to say play on. No problems there with the Titans. They did nothing wrong. Here's Prince, and now Tonga, who did well to put Michaels in for the first try of the day. Essie Tonga plays it 25 out, and Ridge is on in 16. Ben Ridge, he'll play the ball. 17 metres out as the Titans again look dangerous, and Bailey goes to Prince. He goes away to Zillman, who steps off his right foot. He's really very fast with that step of his. It's a big right foot. And the ball to be played by Luke Capewell, the former Rabbitoh. Friend away to White, and then the run around, and then to Prince, and then to Ridge. And Ridge is taken down by Reddy. Last tackle then for the Gold Coast Jetstar Titans. As it comes to Prince, and he puts the ball high and across. Mead is underneath it, takes it well, rucks it down. Thompson tries to get it away. It went off him onto a Parramatta player. That should be a knock-on.
Went forward into the Gold Coast player. The pass backwards. Daniels touched the ball and knocked it on. Okay. Yeah, no, he knocked it on.
Well, he's saying knock on here against Parramatta. Now, Bodine Thompson will get this and try to throw a pass back in field, and it's Mortimer, he says, knocks that on. So he said that Bodine Thompson got a pass away. Mortimer hand to it. This will be a Gold Coast feed. It's a big call.
Yeah, he's saying when Daniel Mortimer hit it, he hit it back into the hand of the man trying to pass the football, so into a defender. A fortuitous one, but a huge opportunity.
So at the back of the scrum, Capewell goes to Ridge, and Ridge already slipped over. Just as well they didn't go one more pass, because Reddy was gone. He disappeared. Here's Friend getting it to James, and James is hit hard early, and that's the way to stop him. He's big and hard to beat. Now Friend had to hesitate, got it to Prince. Here's Bird. Bird will be hard to beat. He's over the line. Greg Bird scores at the southern end.
Yeah, and that's the problem for Parramatta when they get a little man isolated. It was Daniel Mortimer up against Greg Bird. He's a very, very strong conveyance, is Greg Bird. They took advantage of a good call. Took an eternity to get the past second man from dummy half, and then he was already on the outside of Daniel Mortimer, who went low and just slipped off the tackle, and Bird crosses not that far from the posts.
Inexperience again there from Daniel Mortimer. When you see him come off his line, he's watching Scott Prince inside all the time. Now, Scott Prince is someone else's problem. Daniel Mortimer's old man is always going to be this man, Greg Bird. And it's only at the last minute he looks at Greg Bird, and, well, this bloke's muscled over plenty of blokes in his career. He's an aggressive, stocky, hard-running sort of a player. And Mortimer really didn't have his eyes on the right man. Just inexperience again.
It all goes back to that decision made by Ashley Klein on who knocked on. I'll be honest with you, I thought it would have been a Parramatta feed back there, but Klein decided it was a Titans feed, and that is where it all originated. Scott Prince converts the try, scored by Greg Bird. Sunday football on 9. Luke Burke to get us going again. 3 tries in the game. And it's 12-4 in favour of the Titans. That ball bouncing on its point and bouncing straight up and down for Capewell. And Hindmarsh is down there again, leading the chase. And here's White taken by Hindmarsh, and Allgood and Horrow. On the 20-metre line, Titans enter the ground. Here's Ryan James. He ran into Shackleton's left shoulder.
That's a good hit.
That was a very good tackle from Shane Shackleton. Now, here is Ashley Harrison. And look at this hit. Really good, legitimate stuff. And then it's with Bird, and he's up to the halfway line, Bird. Taken here again by Shackleton. Now for Prince to clear on the halfway line. And Parramatta are going to let it go over the dead ball line, so they'll come back and start it at the 20-metre line.
Not back yet.
He played, as I said in the opener of this game, he played a major role in the demolishment of Parramatta when they met last year, Scott Prince. 4 of the 6 second half tries directly attributable to him. And it looks like Lasalo is coming off for a break. The VB Test match, of course, will be played at the Titans' home ground, Skill Park, on Friday week. The live telecast of Australia versus New Zealand from there, and City Country will follow that match at 7:30 on the Gold Coast, the Australia-New Zealand Test match. And looking forward to that, of course, with New Zealand considered to be the #1 team in the world at the moment. Shackleton takes it ahead. Jonathan Thurston today making it clear that he wants the 7 back. He wants to play in what might be Lockie's last Test match. Last in the green and gold. The high kick is well taken by David Mead, but that's Ben Smith in 18 who puts him away.
I've got to say, he was never ever going to catch that, David Mead. He was all over the shot. And in the end, I think caught it on his fingertips. Look at this, it's up, can't get anywhere near his chest, and he gets it outstretched with one hand underneath.
James inside the 30, and they've used 3 tackles now. As Harrison, who reminds me that Origin is not far away either. And then for Scott Prince to go to Bird on the right side, and here is Bodine Thompson. Thompson just on his own side of halfway. The ball interrupted by the Parramatta player.
I can't give you both of them.
And so it's a penalty going to the Titans.
Yeah, you've not released quick enough, but then you just laid it.
Yeah, Nathan Friend played this pretty well. He made sure that he allowed time for the ball to come in contact with Hindmarsh, because he knows that Hindmarsh is in the wrong place. He just makes no effort, pushes him over. He could have got to it if he wanted to, but he milked the penalty nicely. First 32 minutes of the game, Gold Coast looked the more likely. I'm not saying Parramatta can't win. If Gold Coast were playing with confidence, I think they win handsomely, but they've still got their own demons to exercise, haven't they?
James on an inside passage off a ball from Prince. 25 out. Tacklers were Ben Smith and Shane Shackleton. Now for Scott Prince, goes to the line. Harrison's there, Friend is there, now with James. And James is ridden by Hindmarsh into the ground. 10 metres out from the line, played, and danger again for Parramatta. Prince goes short to Ridge, and Wasili it is that's got the ball. And knock on will be called because Parramatta doesn't get an advantage.
Well, that's key defence there. If they'd have conceded points getting up close to half-time, then it would have been a very difficult second 40 coming up. A big part of the game today is dealing with adversity, and if you get a tough call against you and end up having to defend consecutive sets, the good sides will handle it. Parramatta didn't the last time they got one with the knock-on against Daniel Mortimer. That time they handled it well defensively.
Back up, boys.
Just over 6 minutes of the first half to go. I mentioned that Parramatta travels next Sunday, it is, to Cogra to play St George Illawarra, and you people from the Gold Coast, you are playing at home next weekend to the Sydney Roosters. This is Jordan Atkins up the middle with good meters. Harrison low, Bird up the top. James will have to hurry up and get off there. And Wasili it is that comes away for Parramatta. That left knee heavily strapped. And here's Horrow. He's good, isn't he? Horrow. And he's 5 metres from halfway. Played back to Maguire. Into the hands of Mortimer. Right foot kick down between fullback and wing. It might go dead. It won't go dead. Capewell has got it. And Capewell comes 10 away, and down there was all good in the 16 jumper.
Look, there's a lot of things about Parramatta they're doing well here today. Some of their football is really clinical and nicely polished, but it's just that lack of spark in try-scoring positions that probably doesn't get them reward.
Strong meters there by Matthew White.
We heard that Casey Maguire had been called offside, so he ran straight at him. Cut out pass there from Scott Prince, well read by Wasili.
So Tonga it is on his own red line. There's Scott Prince kicking from inside the 40. It has gone straight to Luke Burt. And Burt outside the 20, outside the 30. Ran straight through. Well, Ryan James led with a shoulder. And that's what happens when they misfire. And now the 5 is Atkins. They played the ball on the halfway line. Back for Mortimer, now for Horrow, then for Loco. The try scorer for Parramatta, the 18-year-old, Jacob Loco. Playing it on the 40-metre line. Maguire. Then for Mortimer to go in to Shackleton. Shackleton taken by Ridge. Both he and James with a fair crop of hair. Maguire behind Hindmarsh, and then Robson, and he couldn't give it to Ben Smith, who was in front of him. But the half plays the ball on the last, and Mortimer gets time to put a comfortable kick across. The leapers on, and David Mead wins the jump, and there's a shoulder on the line. So it's going to come away and go infield 20 metres.
Oh, it's great work from Jordan Atkins. Realised that he could still go ahead with the tackle on David Mead and keeps the momentum. Well, there's a lot of momentum. It looked like it had finished, but it was okay for the referee. He felt that he was still able to push the man.
So close to half-time and close to the Gold Coast try line. Parramatta with a really good opportunity. Here's Mortimer. Now Loco taken by Ridge and Capewell. And a penalty goes against the third tackler. It was a flop. The final tackle, I think it was Zillman. So now Moi, who's come back for a second session late in the first half. He was brilliant early on. Maguire to Hindmarsh, and Hindmarsh tries to burrow his way through. He's held a few metres out from the line. Maguire again away. Oh, Robson knocks on. So the chance that was a real chance is gone.
I feel sorry for him. I really do. You know, so much criticism and everyone highlighting the lack of creativity in these two halves, that their head must be spinning when they get close to the line. They must have a lot of thoughts going through their mind, and should we do it this way? Should I do it that way? And every now and then they just come up with one of these fumbles and, oh dear. I think they just need to clear their head and relax a little bit. It'll be much easier for them.
Well said. Well said. Of all the clubs that you would aspire to form a career at as a number 7 or a 6, there would be no more difficult club than Parramatta to do it. The benchmark was set very high, and therein lies one of Parramatta's legacies, really. This is James.
Well, they haven't had a halfback since, have they?
No, I know, but he set the benchmark very high. Oh, it's gone to ground off Harrison. I thought off his head, but he got a hand on it.
I think it qualifies as a Falcon, Ray.
You think so?
I think.
Self-inflicted, I think. I think he gets his hands to it and then dolts it in his head.
It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? Both sides. You can sort of tell from their performance that they haven't started the season well, and they're trying to find their way, and there's almost hesitation in a lot of their play. As Parramatta win the scrum, minute and a half to go, Mortimer corralled.
Right on the halfway line.
They remind me of a bloke learning to dance, and all he's doing is watching his own feet. He's not listening to the music. I think that's what the Parramatta halves need. They need a bit of music in the background.
You sound like Fred Astaire or somebody. Now it's gone away, and quickly from Bird, it's beautiful football. Ready on, Wasili down towards the corner. Wasili is tackled 10 metres out. Ridge was the tackler. Lovely stuff along the Parramatta back line. Here's the kick by Robson. Bird is there, but he's gone. It's finished up coming down anyway for Parramatta.
He's got it back.
Robson has scored the try. Well, has he scored the try? There's players in need of attention.
Well, he was onside.
Just have a look at what happens here as well, but I think that's okay.
He's kicked the football, so he's onside. They're going to have a look at the collision here. Luke Burt was in prime position to take advantage of the kick, but it's hit the post. Everybody's onside. And then Robson follows through. Burt gets in behind the defence. Climbs side, hits the post. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at. That's got nothing to do with the try. So Jeff Robson scores under the posts.
Well, what's wrong with it?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. I think it just took them all by surprise. He will want to check that the man who caught the ball was onside, but the man who caught the ball is the man who kicked it. Ah, look at the smile on his face now, Rabbits. He's enjoying that.
Yeah.
He's enjoying that bit.
So much for your sorrow for him, but this should be the green light. They probably thought there might have been some obstruction there, but what happened? It's a try for Parramatta right on half-time. What happened? David Mead came across in defence as Luke Burt sailed through the air. And, of course, the target or the lure, it was taken off the radar by the uprights. And they collided, but there was no trouble to either party. Here it is again.
It was a good call by Luke Burt. He's the one that signalled for the kick, and it was going to be pinpoint accurate, and I think Burt would have scored. But Robson followed up his kick. He didn't just stand back and admire his work. He chased it. And he came up with a try, a big smile on his face, and that's a great way to go to the halftime break.
Is it ever? So it's a converted try for Jeff Robson. He's been tackling his guts out in the first half. 12-10 the score in favour of the Gold Coast Titans on Sunday football on Easter Sunday. Try for the Titans. Ashley Klein blowing time on for the second half. Parramatta left to right. Their kick-off going down to big Ryan James, and he comes back and he's lifted up and put away by Maguire together with Hindmarsh. And now for Matthew White, and again Hindmarsh is across in in cover, in defence. And they take him to ground, both he and Shackleton. This is Harrison getting it out beyond the 30-metre line on the third tackle on the opening set for the Gold Coast. And this is Greg Bird. Almost to the halfway. And will they kick on this occasion? Yes, they do. But there's a charge down from Shackleton. Capewell is there. And Capewell is back off his 20 and heading up the ground. And he'll take it to ground on the 40-metre mark. So the tackle count resumes. And it is now with Zillman, who looks to me to be quite comfortable in that number 6 jumper. With no Matt Rogers these days. This is Ridge. And Smith and Shackleton make the tackle. The old charge down, it can be effective, it can be good, but gee, it can put you back. It can put you back as well, can't it? So they started the new set of 6, really, 10 metres on their own side of halfway because of a charge down. And here is Thompson, and Bodine is put away. 25 out from the line for Bird to utilise the kick, and it's gone high. Burt is under it, he can't handle it. It's come down to Harrison, and Harrison's got the ball with 6 more tackles. So 3 sets really back to back. Here's Prince and away for Capewell. Capewell taken down. Robson was in the tackle, so was Reddy. It'll take a massive effort by Parramatta to keep them out. White then. He's taken, or he's in an upright tackle at the moment. 3 metres out from the line. So from Friend to Prince, and Prince to Bird. Got a ball away, but it's come down to Shackleton. Parramatta have survived. It was an invitation for 18 tackles. Now, what's happened this time? They've lost the ball.
Luke Burt from dummy half and shaping to pass has just lost it forward. They'd love to go back in the sheds and come out again, Parramatta. Bird tried to pass. Loco went low. And inexplicably, Luke Burt has come up with a shocker.
That was Greg Bird running at Daniel Mortimer again. Whenever he gets his sights on Mortimer, it looks as though Scott Prince is going to give him the ball.
So Parramatta in awful trouble now, because I was about to say they had 3 sets at them. This is really 4 sets at them, and it's a penalty. He's penalised.
Square.
I believe the markers for not being square.
On the line, Nathan.
So really this is the 5th set in a row with a minor interruption to it. Out to Capewell, and now it's with Bodine Thompson. Gets out of Mortimer's tackle and then is taken by Loco, Mortimer and Moy. From Friend, it's gone to Bird and then to Harrison, now to Prince. And here is Zillman, he puts a kick in. He turns Wasili around. Batted over the dead ball line by Parramatta. So here's another set coming up for the Gold Coast.
And they've done well, Parramatta. Through all of that, I haven't really felt like they're going to be broken. And the fact that Zillman grubber kicks early in the tackle count, only 10 metres out from the line, suggests to me that within the Gold Coast team, they're struggling to come up with answers too. And that's 5 back-to-back sets of 6 to start the second half. If Parramatta can hold them out here, it might go a long way towards them gaining the confidence to win the game.
Well, that drop kick is corkscrewing around, and it's Michaels who goes back with it. And Ben Smith making the tackle. And Friend goes to James, who goes to White. And Matthew White will play the ball 25 away from the Parramatta line. They'd be very disappointed, the Gold Coast, if they don't get something out of all of this. And here's Capewell in from the back, and he's lost the ball. And it's over there with Jacob Loco.
Now, Parramatta had him covered all the way. Through all those tackles and all the restarts, Parramatta's defence was pretty good.
Well, it's a great work there from Daniel Mortimer in making the tackle. He forced the mistake as well. I think they were delighted with the kicking goal. It might have meant a restart from under the post, but it gave them a break and got the ball back out to the 40.
Moy plays the ball. Maguire comes towards halfway. And a penalty against the Gold Coast.
You're not getting there.
Now Rabbits, after all that defence, a penalty on tackle 2 or 3. If they can score here, Parramatta, this is a magic opening to the game for them, even though the majority of it haven't had the ball.
5 times they've played the Gold Coast, they've only beaten them once, and that was when it really mattered. In a semi-final of 2009. At the moment, they're playing catch-up football. Moi will play the ball. 15 out, middle ground. Maguire in for Shackleton to go out up the middle of the ground. He's put down by 2 of the big boppers. That's where they are, the Gold Coast. Backs to the wall. Maguire goes behind Hindmarsh, and Robson holds it back for Ben Smith. And Smith piled into the ground by a 3-man Gold Coast tackle. And here is Maguire. He's gone to Mortimer, and Mortimer tried to step, but Harrison got him. And that would have shook Mortimer up a little bit, I think. Comes from Maguire again. Robson puts a kick in, and Steve Michaels got the best bounce in the world. And Michaels is held by Robson. Now away goes Tonga, the left centre for the Titans, out to the 20-metre line. Brother of Willie Tonga. One is Capewell.
Well, the Titans will hope that the trend of the last fortnight continues. They have not conceded a point in the last 2 games against North Queensland and the Tigers. Well, Parramatta haven't scored a point in the second 40 minutes.
Play by Thompson. And this is Friend playing it on the 40-metre line. Bird's pass from dummy half to Scott Prince, who was outside the 40. It's gone down to Bird, just a little juggle behind him. Asks Waisili to take it out, and Waisili gets it out to the 20-metre line. Earlier today, the Knights played the Raiders. The Raiders led 12-0 at half-time. They got beaten 22-12.
The Raiders led 12-6 with 12 minutes to go. The Knights scored 3 tries in the last little period there to secure a win.
Here's Shackleton with the ball. Kick down the ground from Maguire, in behind Michaels. Michaels coming out from his 10, running at Robson. Hindmarsh. Toyota Cup today was won by the Eels. That was a tighty. 18 points to 6. Locked together, I remember it was 7 minutes to go. It was 16-16. Parramatta winning by 2. In fact, I don't think the Titans have won a game this year in Toyota Cup.
They had a draw last week, Ryan. It looked like it's been a draw this week. They were down 16-0. They missed a couple of fairly comfortable conversions as the Titans senior side now take it over halfway with White.
He tried to pass there, but the ball was locked up by Shackleton and Hindmarsh. And here is Prince joining in, and he puts a little chip down. And Waisili has asked a question there, but the ball does him a favour and bounces over the sideline. So we'll take a break on Sunday football. Come back in just a moment.
Outside leg up, Tim. Ben, arms around and go in and
See you guys. Just keep working hard, Ash. In the race.
Sunday football on Channel 9. And 12-10, Gold Coast leading Parramatta. A match that's very much in the balance. That's Loco playing it on his own 30-metre line. And this is Horro, 35 out from his line. Just trying to fathom what's going on with Moi. He came back late in the first half, started the second half, and now he's gone again.
Well, he spent the whole half-time break being stretched, his back being stretched on the ground. It's a mistake there from Daniel Mortimer. And he was out there for about 8 minutes to start the second half, and sideline stretching up again.
And here's again Daniel Mortimer now coming up with the fumble, as we saw from Jeff Robson in the first half. I really do feel sorry for these two boys. And again, that no-look pass, you don't know whether you're getting it or not. Oh, Rabbits, I'm starting to get with you now. You hate it, don't you?
I hate it when it's unnecessary.
Yeah. He should have caught it, but they've got so much on their minds here. Their brains must be scrambled half the time.
Played there by Tonga. This is Michaels. And Michaels is 35 metres out from the line.
We'll get a petition up. No more no-look passes.
And bring in more differentials. Here it goes from Prince, and it goes across now, and it's turned in by Zillman for Bird, and Bird has taken.
So many people I've run into love your idea of the differential penalty, Roberts. So many. I think you're on a winner there.
So it's with Zillman now. There's that right foot step. It's carried him through into open space. He spins out. He's going to score. William Zillman scores under the posts. Well, I told you earlier, just looking at him step a couple of times, it's a lethal step, and he's got such speed, and he's gone in under the bar.
Well, it's great to see that he's still got so much speed, because he came up from Canberra as a fullback and had a really serious knee injury. He was out for ages, and you wonder whether they're going to be the same again after that in the pace department. Well, some awful defence here. Horrow and Maguire missing there, spinning out of tackles. William Zillman around Luke Burt, gets rid of Nathan Hindmarsh, does a 360, can't believe his luck, and he's under the post, and he is still very quick.
And again, he didn't look to his outside for support. He had Capewell looming up. Capewell was screaming for the ball, but Zillman, as he did in the first half, never gave him a glance. Never even looked to his right. So probably lucky he did score.
Scott Prince then from right in front. Football followed by News at 6. And the kick from Prince is online, so another 2 to the Gold Coast. They punch out to 18-10, and Andrew Johns on the sideline.
Yeah, the Titans have struggled for a while for a partner for Scott Prince. They might have found the man with the ball there. William Zillman, you see he doesn't complicate his game. If there's space there, takes the ball to the line, goes through, doesn't panic, hit and spin, plenty of speed. Might be a long-term partner.
It's an amazing game, isn't it? You know, I was only thinking when Zillman left Canberra to go to the Gold Coast, I thought, well, how are they going to replace Zillman at Canberra? And then, of course, along comes Josh Dugan. But he's a class act, this fellow Zillman. Believe me, the 17 is with it now, and that's Luke O'Dwyer, formerly with Parramatta. And News at 6 on 9. Then at 6:30 Sunday night, a current affair live from London. And at 7:30, it's 60 minutes. We'll be having a current affair from London. Greg Bird.
Did you get an invite to the wedding, Roberts?
No, but I see Ian Thorpe did. That's interesting. This is Matthew White, and he's lost the ball. So a pat on the back for Casey Maguire and Nathan Hindmarsh as they will come up with possession.
Give you the benefit of the doubt, but make sure you get that foot on it.
In good position. Referee just warning a couple of players that we want you to make a concentrated effort to play the ball. Gus, you visited a schoolboys carnival, did you not, at Nyngan yesterday?
I went up to Dubbo, flew to Dubbo, drove to Nyngan. It's the Easter Challenge is put on by a fellow called Cole Wright out there every year for the last 4 or 5 years. Under 16s and under 18s, a knockout competition. Oh dear. Poor old Jacob Loco. It was a great couple of days. They're up there today playing again today. They were there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Cole Wright gives all the kids a farming experience. They sleep out under the stars. And Parramatta, the Sharks, Newcastle, Penrith, all send under 16s and 18s teams up there. They do a tremendous job. It should be supported greater by the Country Rugby League. They do it all off their own bat. All the people of the town in Nyngan supply the food and the help and the assistance to put it on. It's an absolute beauty. Glad I went.
Gold Coast then with Luke O'Dwyer.
And credit there to Bodine Thompson getting up very quickly in the face of Jacob Loco to force a mistake. Bailey, a bit of a goose step over the third.
Goose step there, Pete.
Yeah, he's light-footed today.
Yeah, Lukey boy, 200 today. Here it goes. Oh, it's gone recklessly away, and then there's a battle between Bird and Thompson. Well, you've got to ask the question, was one of them offside? But it's play on, and to the short side goes Nathan Fred. And he's taken over there by Jordan Atkins.
The wrong bloke ran away with it, didn't he?
Bird, short, White, almost unnecessary. Here's Prince. Long ball out to Tonga, and Tonga is taken by Wasili and Reddy, and they show him the sideline. Come over here.
Yeah, other than the first try of the game, which was a defensive error, they had the Gold Coast covered and just didn't come up with a tackle. But other than that, The Parramatta defence out wide has been very good today. Now just watch the way Reddy and these fellas combine out wide. They slide away, they control their gaps, they get the hit. Now they'll join in together and muscle in towards the in goal. And that's perfect hold and slide defence. And they've executed that pretty well today.
And there up in the crowd is Israel Folau, watching this match. No doubt some of his mates are involved in it, particularly in the Parramatta team. Came from, I think it was down from Minto or the Cobras or something like that. And many of these fellows learnt their craft. That is Ben Smith getting one around the throat, but he really leant into it. He went looking for it, actually. Tim Manor taken low by Luke Bailey.
One of those no-lookers again, Ray. Put Manor in some degree of difficulty as Luke Burt drives at centre field straight down the throat of Capewell.
Capewell has got David Mead with him. Mead not hard to pick in the bright orange shoes, although Nathan Friend is wearing them as well. But Nathan with the headgear on as well. Here's David Mead with it again. 35 metres out from his own line. It's gone to Greg Bird, and Bird goes down the corridor on the right, and he's met this time by his target, if you like, Mortimer. That's Harrison. And it's coming across for Minicello, who takes it to 35 metres out from the line. Big mark. He suffered an injury earlier in the game, and Prince is made to hurry a kick, and Wasili did well to take that ball. He almost looked like he'd lost it for a moment. 15 metres out from the Parramatta line. Gold Coast 18-10, but you hesitate to say they're comfortable. Plenty of time left in the game, and Parramatta have spent the major part of the second half camped inside their own 30-metre line.
Well, this time last year, you would say the game is over. I don't think the Gold Coast were beaten from behind all last season. And in any games they led with 25 to go, they won. So, but as we said, they come into this game down on form, down on confidence. Both teams are. So there's nothing certain from this point.
Mortimer then kicking for his outside man, but it's too... Well, Atkins has made a lunge at it, but it's gone over the sideline, and it will be a turnover to the Gold Coast. The kick from Mortimer just a tad too heavy. Just looking at this second half unfolding, that last time they met last year, the Titans played almost the perfect second half. I was looking at some of the stats this morning. They completed 19 of 20 sets, 19 of 20, and they had to make only 87 tackles. So they suffocated Parramatta completely out of that game. Cartwright, John, with a long contract to stay at the Gold Coast. Luke Douglas going there, along with, of course, the young monster, Jamal. This is O'Dwyer. 20 metres out, and Luke playing the ball back for Zillman to give it to Harrison. He's a toiler, isn't he? Prince gets it on. Capewell gets away from Mortimer. They're running plenty of plays at Daniel. Now they go to the blind side. Prince is there. Oh, what a ball! What a ball! But it's gone forward. And Mead thought he had 4 points beside his name. We'll take a break on Sunday Football. Come back. And back with Parramatta taking the restart after a try seemed obvious to the Titans.
Well, they're very fortunate, Parramatta. That pass there from Scott Prince ruled to have gone forward to his winger Mead. But they would have paid the penalty for a brain explosion from Daniel Mortimer. It was poorly executed, the little kick across field, but if he had 20 options in his mind, the last one should have been the kick that he tried across field. They dodged a big bullet there. And now, fifth tackle, Jeff Robson from inside his 40 goes for a 40-20.
The ball straightens up for Capewell. And it's gone on to David Mead. Play back inside the Titans' 30-metre line. Repeating, they play the Roosters next weekend. I think that's a Saturday night game. It might be a twilight game on Saturday. Here's Minicello, Parramatta heading for Cogra. Play by Mark. Now it's gone to Zillman. Zillman just hesitated and then he went for that leg drive. Explosive off the mark. Friend finding Bailey, and Bailey finds the shoulder of Smith. Hindmarsh comes in. 18-10 in favour of the Gold Coast as Friend puts it on to Zillman. Zillman puts it on his left foot. It's a big kick and Luke Burke marks it in goal. Referee says play on. 10 metres out from his own line. This is Atkins, met by Minicello and by Harrison.
Well, we've got an exhausted Nathan Hindmarsh in behind the Titans defensive line. He's done 41 tackles at the hour mark. Trainers come out, but honestly, I just think it's fatigue.
Well, they need to try now, the Parramatta Eels. Not that they're running out of time, but just for their own confidence, just to keep them in the contest and maintain a little bit of self-belief. They've defended really well for mine. Some of their defence has been first class, but they're really struggling to make an impact with the ball.
What's the breakdown of time in your own half, Peter? I can't read that screen. That's got me stuffed completely. Andrew, sideline.
I think the Eels have just got to throw the ball sometimes to Jacob Loco. The young guy has another mistake from the Parramatta Eels. He scored the first try, Loco, a young player with so much potential. With a play like that, sometimes you just got to throw on the ball and say create something. Because at the moment, they're really struggling.
Well, look at this. Here's their most experienced player, Nathan Hindmarsh. Now, he's running with Manor in support and Mortimer out the back. He's thinking, I've got to catch this and I'm going to time the run, then I'm going to throw it out the back. It just looks like sometimes they're stymied.
I think he might be putting the finger up and saying, look,
He dropped that because he was tired as well.
Yeah, I think he's mentally fatigued.
I've never seen him stop behind a line like he did moments ago when the defensive lineup was there with him, without him dealing with the Tigers.
I think it's as much mental as it is, physical. I just think they're so frustrated that they can't make an inroad when they've got the ball.
Yeah. When you're physically exhausted, probably the first part to go is your brain. Just saw him indicate something to the bench. He just looked over, put one finger up. I got a feeling he might be even saying, get me out of here. Bird is with the ball. Play back for Friend and then for Minicello, and Minicello runs it at all good in 16 and Manor in 8. And it's come out the back for Friend. And Friend is away. He's gone up the middle. And again, he runs into all good. And they're 15 out, as you can see. They're going to the short side. Prince is going down there again. And Harrison is tackled. Harrison will play. Plays it back for Zillman. Zillman for Prince, and Prince gets a kick in. It's gone across to the chasers. Thomas after it, off the Gold Coast hand, into the in goal. It should be knock on.
The Gold Coast, we are out to the 20.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no advantage there for Parramatta, and it came off the Titans' hand.
Yeah, good call, Rabbits. You got it. Off Steve Michael's hands. I think Parramatta, to me, look well coached in respect that the defence is solid. They know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to look at their rehearsed stuff when they've got the ball, but they're just not in that class at the moment where they can really threaten the sides. Look at this, they're getting in each other's way. It's not comfortable for them at all.
Rosado back out there again. Just reminding you, Friday night, that's a really good game coming up for you on Friday night. The Bulldogs victorious last night over the Rabbitohs, and they've taken on the Broncos at that great stadium at Suncorp, and then Rabbitohs Sharks ANZ in Sydney. You'll see them in that order no matter what state you're in.
That's a massive game, Bulldogs and the Broncos. Very impressed with the Broncos on Friday night. Physically strong.
Hodges up against Idris.
Yeah.
Do they look at each other?
They're on the opposite sides of the field.
Okay. Here's Thompson, Peter.
Warming to the task here, the Titans.
4 on 4 on the ground.
Well,
That'll help.
that's big.
Mate, you're tackled before the line.
Because Parramatta was starting to concede a lot of metres around the play of the ball. And that's Bodine Thompson. Said he's moved off the mark, was tackled back on the line and finished 3 or 4 metres past it.
Knights 22, Raiders 12, repeating the match in Canberra today. The Newcastle Knights coming from nowhere with 22 unanswered points in the second half. Manor.
Can the Eels do the same, Rabbits?
18-10, I don't know, Gun. Here for Tab if I knew. Here is Burt, and Burt is taken by Zillman.
You're at the tab and you don't know.
It's a fair point you've made. 60 years at the tab, not knowing what I'm doing there. Here's Ben Smith with the ball. Penalty to Parramatta.
He's not square.
He's not square.
Wait, Luke.
That's what he's saying.
Hang on. What are you doing?
This is a must now. The Eels need to score twice. I think just about the first time they've been down here in this second half. They're going to score twice. They have to score once now on the back of all this pressure and possession at this end of the field.
Highmarsh is still there. He'll play the ball 9 metres out from the line. Maguire comes right side. Decoy runners all over the place. That's a beautiful try. Lovely execution. And one of the most underrated centres in the game scores Joel Reddy.
Well, it hasn't been awarded as yet. We're going upstairs to make sure that there's no obstruction. And we come back to the Bodine Thompson penalty in possession and playing the football. They were on top, the Titans, and they were at the right end of the field, and that's how quickly a game can change. Parramatta, a couple of penalties, find themselves now inside the opposition 10. Jeff Robson goes right to the line, second man. Now, he's initiated the contact there on Ben Smith, in my opinion, the defensive player, William Zillman. And play continues. It's just a matter of getting the ball to Joel Reddy into a gap. That close to score. I'm sure they'll have another look.
I think, Pete, we should try and point out some of the little adjustments that Harrigan and Raper have made. A player who makes a choice to take a decoy runner. The try is there. It really comes back to the old rule, really. Was he in a position to make a tackle? Was he impeded from trying to make a tackle or a contribution to the defence? The answer, no. And Reddy gets the try. Well,
Zillman held his line there because of the decoy run from Ben Smith. He puts his head down straight away to make the tackle. He's not even concerned or doesn't see Luke Burt, so he was never going to come out and feature defensively.
Exactly right, Peter, but I'm amazed sometimes we go back to what was the original rule. After experimenting with something for so long, we go back to where we came from. And that's what the original rule said. Was he stopped from making a tackle? Or could he have made a tackle and made a contribution to the defence? So we'll take a break. Parramatta have scored a converted try. They're again 2 behind. There's 12 minutes to go. Welcome back to Sunday Football. Tomorrow, of course, I wish you on behalf of everybody at Channel 9 and the network, and of course on our football team in particular, the Wide World of Sports, I wish you an enjoyable Anzac Remembrance Day as you think about those that gave their lives for us, no matter in which war or which current conflict we're involved in. And you think of the fallen. Tomorrow is your day. It's probably Australia's most important day. And if you have any involvement in it, I hope you get from it what you deserve. Here is Casey Maguire. And then it's gone to Robson's boot, and it's gone down where Michael's got it on the boot, and then back then and Capel got it on the boot. Good for a moment. That's in action, but it's now with Tom.
Be interesting to see if the Gold Coast Titans can close this one out. They lead by 2 with 10 to go. Normally they're very good in this situation, but they're down on form, and Parramatta have really got a spring in their step. That try has done them wonders. But they look more comfortable behind on the scoreboard than the Gold Coast do, and they're in front.
Play by Henderson. Prince right on the 40-metre line, down low, and Luke Burke, can you believe he would knock on from dummy half? He's got a beautiful set of hands, as he exhibited there. Waisili, pursued by Minicello, who's got him by the jumper and pulls him down. He's on the 40-metre line, and here's Moi straight up the middle, and Luke Bailey puts his head in front of him. Moi right on halfway, looks at the referee. Maguire goes to Robson, goes to Burt, goes to Reddy. Reddy will pass, he does. Robson is in support, turns it in for Manor to go up the middle. It might be time to go to the edges, though. These big fellas in the middle, they're running straight to them. Robson back, and it came off Burt, went backwards. Reddy cleans it up, but that's 5 tackles gone for Parramatta. They haven't made a lot of ground. It's with the dummy half, and Burt kicks, and he regathers, and he gets the ball over the top, and it's inside to Reddy, and it's called back. It's called back tragically, because that would have been something quite unbelievable.
I'll explain it.
Well, the referee's saying he's got to explain.
I'll explain it. Are you standing in, Captain?
He's got to explain.
Mate, what the story is, Ben Smith is in front of the play the ball when it's played, so he's out of play.
Well, Nathan Highmarsh understands that. It's a great call. Ben Smith is offside, never gets back, and then supports back on the inside. Got the football now. It's an excellent call.
It's a mini downtowner, you might call it.
Pick that up.
Comes from that same branch of the rules. If you're in front of the play the ball, never mind what happens, you're offside, you can't take part. You can't, in fact, if you are behind the play the ball, you can't go down the ground past that point until the ball has gone past you, just to extend it a bit further. But that's where it comes from, if you're looking for it.
It's a let off for the Titans, whatever it is.
It is indeed, but wouldn't it have been something else?
Oh, it's brilliant work by Luke Burke. Brilliant work.
Played by Harrison. The Titans get their chance now. It's their serve. And this is Greg Bird. He's not doing his rip chances any damage here today. It's come back for Scotty Prince. Across he goes, and he gets it onto Zillman. Down and up again. He'll play it 20 metres out from the Parramatta line. It's 18 plays 16 as Luke Capewell puts it high. Bird is underneath it, and Burt takes it. There were plenty of people flying through the air, but Burt did not take his eyes off it, didn't leave the ground at any time. Atkins is tackled on his own 10-metre line. Nathan Friend is underneath him. And Waisili gets away from one, and then burrows outside the 20.
I don't see what that winger did any different to what Bodine Thompson did when he got penalised on the other side of the field.
Absolutely.
Play by Shackleton now. Here's Moi. I love watching his eyes when the ball's coming to him. His eyes are wide open and alert.
One would hope so.
And here, I understand that, but when he opens his eyes, it's something different. It's a bit like Idris. Now, David Mead. And back he comes towards the 30-metre line.
7 to go.
7 to go, and 2 points the margin. And this is the second tackle for the goal. Oh, gee, Michaels winced. Moyman hit him
around the chest.
Didn't look as though there was much in it, but it took the wind out of Michaels. This is Henderson. Tim Manor on the bike on the sideline. Minicello did well, offloaded, kept it alive. Capewell, Prince the ball recklessly again to ground, picked up then by Bodine Thompson, who unloads back to Prince, not tackled, beat Lasalo, got the ball to Harrison. Harrison tries to go through, but Harrison is pulled down. 37 away from the line. So the Titans, can they seal it? It's a long ball. It's out to Tonga. He kicks it ahead, and Burt watches it. And I think it might go out to the 20 for the restart. No, he's pointing. It's line drop out.
Wow.
think Bert's a little bit surprised.
Yeah, it's a big call. Let's have a look at Luke Burt, whether or not he's pushed into the ball. He's guarding it, so he's playing at it. Let's have a look. Yeah, his foot does. Good call. Referee right on top of it. I thought that Tonga could have run and passed back on the inside to Michaels and given him a chance. He kicked very early for mine. There's no doubt that Luke Burt kicks that ball dead.
Well, yeah, you might be right, but can you push a bloke in the back or tackle a man without the ball?
Well, he was guarding the ball.
I don't know what he was doing. You can't push a bloke in the back and tackle him without the football.
But he wants to get to the football, Rabbit.
I don't care what he wants to do. I'm telling you what's in the book.
But he was guarding it. He was shielding it.
I don't care what you're doing. You can't push a man in the back and you can't tackle a man without the football. Anyway, it's Capewell with the ball now. It's Easter Sunday, please.
Well, you keep throwing that rule book at me.
Here's Bird now. Then it's gone over to Harrison. That's fine. I'm just putting questions to you. Here's Friend, and Friend behind Bailey. It's gone to Prince, and here's Minicello. Brilliant defence online from Robson and Burt.
Great tackle.
Say another word.
What a tackle, Peter.
I think if they gave the ball to Luke Bailey, he would have been very, very tough to stop. But Jeff Robson, one-on-one with Mark Minicello, who got the match winner for them last week against the Tigers, loses the football in the tackle.
Yeah, he's got no complaint. He dropped it. He's got no complaint. He dropped it.
I'll tell you when, Jeff, wait.
5 minutes to go.
Well, defensively now, the Titans, they obviously need to be good, but they need to be disciplined. The worst thing they could do would be to give a penalty to Parramatta and get them out of this end of the field.
Shackleton shouldering his way down the ground. This match still there to be won. Maguire. 32 metres out. Wouldn't they love to have a Jared Hayne there now? Now, Loco was hit by a shoulder from Bodine Thompson. He's repaired the damage. And now Jordan Atkin. 5 tackles gone, and they're only just outside their 30-metre line. So it's Robson who shapes to kick, and then he passes to Burt to let him kick from inside the 40-metre line. It's rolling down inside the 10. It's a great kick from Burt. Here's Michaels on the way back, and coming down the ground is Ben Smith, and he makes the tackle and puts him to ground.
Yeah, good work there, and under 4 minutes to go now. Right down to the nitty-gritty.
Parramatta desperate for a mistake now from the Titans. Tonga to play the ball.
And if they don't get the mistake, they're desperate to keep them down this end as far as they can to force a deep kick. But that's a great run from Minicello, but a poor option at the end.
Oh, yeah. Well, he didn't know whether to pass to Capewell or not to pass, and eventually it's all gone upside down.
Yeah, sometimes your support runners can make the man force a pass he doesn't want to pass. Now, as Minicello muscles his way into the line, Capewell obviously screams for the ball. I'm sure Minicello was happy to get metres. And he goes and muscles halfway through the line. Now he'll hear the call, so he tries to force a pass he didn't really want to throw and comes up with the fumble. Sometimes that support runner has got to keep his mouth shut in situations like this.
Broncos Bulldogs next Friday, followed by Rabbitohs Sharks. The telecast starting time is 8:30 next Friday. We're coming to you from Suncorp next Friday, and the match will go around Australia to be followed by the Sharks Cronulla game.
Just one more try,
Parramatta on their second tackle. They're 25 metres out, and Robson comes in, and he goes to ground 20 metres out from the Titans line. Here's Maguire to the blind side, flicks to Smith, goes to Robson, back to Moi, and Moi to ground. 10 metres out, 4th tackle for Parramatta. Maguire goes over to Robson, then it's gone to Mortimer, now it's out to Loco. Loco is taken by Bodine Thompson, and the bomb is on. So an aerial might decide the contest. The kick from Mortimer has gone backwards, and it's taken by Moi. Moi looks around to unload. He does. It's kicked through, and it's gone into the in-goal, and it's gone over the touchline in-goal. It's a line dropout.
Goal line. It's not the way you would see a line dropout forced normally. It was the second kick. that gets it done, but the Gold Coast Titans are out on their feet. Moy throws it back. Luke Burt gets his toe to the ball, or Robson did.
That was Burt. He's a clever player, Luke Burt, isn't he? It was all over there that the play had fallen apart, but Luke Burt came up with a clever play to get it over the top on the half volley and gives his side another chance, the last chance.
You just get a feeling, Rabbits, don't you? You just get a feeling with a minute and a half to go, they might do it.
Moy is taken 28 metres out from the Gold Coast line. It's gone across to Robson, and here's Shackleton now, running it at Bailey. 21 metres out. About 24 metres away from the western touchline. Maguire goes to Robson, goes to Burt. It's gone to Loco, but Thompson has got him well contained out there. With the help of David Mead. Parramatta then. They come across to the middle again with Lasalo. And Lasalo goes to ground on the fourth tackle. Robson indicating to the air. He's going to go through the hands to Mortimer. Then it's gone back to Reddy. Reddy tries to puncture them. He stands and he had a chance, I thought, to Wasili. But he plays the ball on the last. The kick has got to come. There it is from Mortimer. It's heading towards the uprights. Up they go, down they come. Shackleton! Shackleton has scored for Parramatta. Shackleton, I believe, has scored for Parramatta. Off a Mortimer kick that was heading for the right-hand upright.
You can feel it. You can feel it. That there was going to be a happy ending here for the Parramatta fans. Is he offside? I don't think he is. I think the foot's on the ball. Up it goes, hands in the air. Provided there's no knock-on from a Parramatta player, there can't be. The ball's come back. And Big Shackleton grabs it, falls to the ground for the match winner. The Parramatta Eels will win on Easter Sunday.
Never in doubt, never in doubt. And what a story, Shane Shackleton. Turned up to every session last year in rehab. And there were some thoughts that he may never get back on the field again after that awful separation up around the groin in game 1 last year. He turned up, he was at the end working as much as possible on rehab. That's gone back. Luke Burt up there with Taniela Lasalo. They didn't knock it forward. Shackleton didn't propel it into Michael Henderson. That's a try, that's a match winner. And that's a great story for Shane Shackleton. Welcome back.
You could feel it, Rabbits, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's
You
fine,
could.
You could just feel it.
What an incredible finish. I don't quite know what they keep on looking at that. It's gone back, and the try is in the frame. The blue and gold army. Not a big one today, but they've taken the victory. The KFC So Good man of the match is Luke Burt. Burt is the KFC man of the match. He will take the kick at goal. So while Luke lines this up, Loco, Robson, Reddy, Shackleton the tries. Shackleton at the 80th minute. The Titans led 12-10 at half-time. Burt converts the Shackleton try. The match at Parramatta is over. The home team have won. Here is National 9 News.